This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Lottery scamming behind St. Bet's farmer's death sees cops. Police believe lottery scamming is behind Sunday morning's killing of a man and the wounding of two others at a party in Cottage, Newmarket, St. Elizabeth. Police have identified the dead man as Devereux Durant, a 28-year-old farmer from Braze River in the parish. The injured persons are 20 and 28 years old. The commanding officer for the St. Elizabeth Police Division, Superintendent Dwight Daly, told the news that investigators have launched a top-level probe into the killing. "We are following several leads, but our investigations are pointing to lottery scamming as a possible motive," Superintendent Daly said. He also revealed that the promoters of the party where the incident occurred had applied and were given a permit for it to be held. Reports indicate that about 1:40 a.m., while the party was in full swing, Durant and another man were in his car when gunmen approached the vehicle. Police said the men opened fire, killing Durant and injuring the 20-year-old. The other man was standing near the car and was hit. He was not with Durant and the other man. 33-year-old man suspected of committing suicide in St. Catherine. A St. Catherine man is suspected to have committed suicide at his home in Ebonyville, St. Catherine, Sunday morning. The deceased has been identified as a 33-year-old Anthony Green. According to information received from the Constabulary's Communications Unit, Green was found hanging from a staircase with a belt tied around his neck. He was taken to Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Family members revealed to the news that Green had lost his job 2 weeks ago. Man killed at fundraising event in Manchester. Police are probing the murder of a 37-year-old man who was gunned down at a fundraising event in Daviton in Manchester on Saturday night. The deceased has been identified as Aldane Belafante, a resident of Daviton. A police report said about 9:45 p.m., Belafante was at an event when two gunmen pounced on him and opened gunfire. He was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. This latest incident brings to 14 the number of people killed in the South Central Parish since the start of this year. On Thursday, the Manchester Police announced that they will not grant entertainment permits to 6 communities in the parish as part of efforts to fight crime and keep communities safe. Head of the Manchester Police, Superintendent Lloyd Darby, stated that restrictions have been imposed on entertainment events in Comfort, Broadleaf, Hearties, Greenville, Newhall, and Midday. 20-year-old arrested after gun found in waste. A 20-year-old construction worker has been charged in connection with the seizure of a Smith & Wesson semi-automatic pistol and a magazine containing 12 9mm cartridges in Kingston 11 on Saturday. Charged is Miguel Turner, also called Redman, of Back Lane in Spanish Town. According to police reports, law enforcers from the division's crime band team were conducting a snap raid in the Palm Grove housing scheme in Kingston 11 when they made the discovery. Reports indicate that at about 11:20 p.m., lawmen were in the area when a group of men saw them and ran. The police gave chase and the Turner was held. He was searched and the weapon and ammunition taken from his waistband. He was later charged in relation to the seizure. Turner is currently awaiting a court date. Electrical issue affecting operations at a new NWC Martha Brae facility. The National Water Commission is advising customers served by the new Martha Brae treatment plant in Trelawney that the current disruption in their regular water supply is due to an electrical issue at the facility. According to a release, the affected areas include Falmouth, Rock, Cooper's Pen, Trelawney Beach Hotel, Salt Marsh and Davis Pen, Wilshire, Scarlett Hall, Martha Brae, Danieltown, Greenwood, Rose Hall, Coral Gardens, Iron Shore, Granville, Green Park, Shawfield, and its environs. The NWC says its maintenance team is currently working to resolve the issue and regrets any inconvenience the service disruption may have caused. NWC worker gunned down in Waterford, St. Catherine. The St. Catherine South Police are investigating the shooting death of a 35-year-old employee of the National Water Commission who was gunned down on Saturday night. The deceased has been identified as Kemar Davis of Spawway in the parish. According to law enforcers, about 7:50 on Saturday night, residents reported hearing gunshots and summoned the police. Upon arriving at the scene, the police found Davis suffering from multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. He was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital where he was pronounced dead. No motive has yet been established for the killing. Family of guard killed in road accident demands justice. The family of Ambrose Service, the popular St. James's security guard, who was killed after being struck by a vehicle as he attempted to cross the road in Coral Gardens, St. James, on February 20, is demanding justice over his death. The family members, several of whom traveled from the United States for Service's funeral today, told the news that they are not satisfied with the police report about the accident and are unhappy with the slow pace of the investigation. Service's mother, Finetta Service, said her son, who celebrated his 59th birthday on January 9, did not deserve to die in the manner in which he did. She said her son, who is affectionately called Junior, was the breadwinner of his 3 children. Junior is my favorite son. I love all my sons very much, but Junior, who is living here in Jamaica, depends on me for a lot of things, even though he is a fully grown man, stated the distraught mother, who lives overseas. That same week when he died, I had just spoken to him and was also packing a barrel to ship to Jamaica for him and his children. It came as a shock to me when I got the news that he was killed while crossing the roadway in Montego Bay. The weeping woman told the news that her son was of good health, very sober, and as far as she knew, he was capable of crossing the road in a proper manner. I learned that he was crossing the roadway at a pedestrian crossing while the lights were on red facing the traffic, so this would mean that he expected all vehicles to stop, but we heard that some female driver sped through the stoplight, drive down the roadway and run him over, Finetta stated. I can't believe that my son will be buried without closure to his death. Stephen, the younger brother of the deceased, told the news that Ambrose was a very fond, loving, jovial, kind, and caring individual who was always looking out for his family, friends, and others around him. My brother is one of the best persons you could ever find. He was very hardworking, and in fact, at the time of his death, he was employed to Discount Lumber and Hardware as a forklift driver, and also to Pinehurst Villa in Coral Gardens as a security guard, Stephen said. We were told that he had just left the villa and had gone across to Harvey Beach to purchase food, and while on his way back, he was in the process of crossing the roadway, and this was shortly after 8 p.m. when he was struck down. He continued, since his death, we have not heard anything substantial about the investigation, or even if the woman who was driving the vehicle was warned for prosecution. All we have been getting is a runaround from the investigating officer at the Coral Gardens police station. We want justice for our brother. When one stands on the outside and listens to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, you would believe that they are actually doing a perfect job, but when you actually have to deal with them, that's when you discover that there are so many flaws in the Jamaica justice system. The family is also making an appeal to anyone who witnessed the accident to contact the police. When contacted, a police officer at the St. James Traffic Department told the news that he was not in possession of any updates, but said that the accident was under investigation. To be frank, I know of the accident, but as to make a comment on the nature of the investigation, I am not able to do so, and I also cannot confirm if the female driver was prosecuted or warned for prosecution, the officer stated. The police reported that about 8:15 p.m. on Sunday, February 20, Service was attempting to cross a section of the highway in the vicinity of Harvey Beach in Montego Bay when he was struck by a vehicle driven by a female motorist. He died on the spot. Service will be buried today in the family plot in Point District, St. James. Up to last Friday morning, there had been 107 road fatalities since the start of the year, a 13% year-on-year increase. Pedestrians have accounted for 24% of those killed on the roads since January. Guidance counselors under pressure with a resumption of classes. It is being reported that guidance counselors employed to public schools have been under tremendous pressure since the resumption of face-to-face classes dealing with the mental health issues affecting students. President of the Jamaica Association of Guidance Counselors in Education, Tracy and Taft Thompson, says the situation is compounded by the fact that there's only a small cadre of guidance counselors. In some instances, one guidance counselor is assigned to 600 students. According to Thompson, more students are now in need of counseling, and the disruption by the pandemic caused a backlog in the number of students requiring attention. Meanwhile, the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools is worried about the lack of resources to deal with the high number of students in need of mental health support. President of the association, Lindvern Wright, says schools are overwhelmed and the state agencies are struggling to keep up with the referrals. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.